Alrighty, today's talk is all about vision. Why I believe vision is really important, and why I believe that every business and every calling that we might have needs to have the ability to be able to see it before you can actually be able to make anything kind of happen or be able to achieve it. With today's talk, I'm going to specifically refer to my main business, which is Platinum Training Academy, but from a perspective of two things. One, where the vision was for the gym back in 2014 when I first started it, and two, how it's changed and what we've been able to do as time's gone on with the way in which we support our community and get the results that we get from a health perspective and a body composition perspective, but also how I am able to be the right kind of leader that has the direction for where the business needs to go. It all starts from vision, and without vision, people and businesses drift. Now, everybody watching on YouTube or everybody in this room here, if you think about anything you've been trying to work on or trying to achieve, if there's ever been a time where you've started it, then you stopped, or you've started it, then you've gotten distracted, or started then found that you chased this thing, and then you chased that thing, and then you chased this thing, and then you chased that thing, and then fast forward 6 to 12 months, you're not where you thought you were going to be at, or you look back and you think to yourself, how did I get here when I had the goal was to be there, but I'm actually down here or over there? And it's because your vision wasn't clear. And you got distracted by the shiny, bright things that you thought were going to allow you to move forward, especially in the areas of making money. Most people get distracted because when they're doing the hard work on the thing and they're not seeing the result for it straight away, they feel like nothing's going to work. But who you are today, for example, how much money you're making today, how you look today, how you feel today, how much smarter you are today, is based on what you were doing 6 months ago. Now let that sink in for a bit. Everything you are today is based on what you did 6 months ago. Right? Has it been for nothing? If you've made progress in some of the areas of your life that you want to make progress in, it hasn't been for nothing. It's actually paid off. But you've got to understand there's a long-term play with this stuff. I would have never gotten to this size gym in 1 year when I first started in 2014, but I had the vision for it. And so I knew what I had to work towards. I knew the targets, the KPIs, the actions. I knew everything I needed to do to make sure that what we did on a daily basis was still aligned with that vision that we were going to have. And anything that we added on top as time went on, it had to align with that vision. And if it didn't, then we didn't do it. And if it did at the start, but then the way things were going, that this thing that we added on wasn't fitting the vision anymore, then I removed it. Right? As you guys know, I closed down a business. I closed it down because it wasn't fitting into the vision that I wanted for my life in the next 5 years. It's okay. A lot of people were upset about it. We had a fantastic meal prep company. We were serving people in our community and in the wider community of Sydney with amazing meals that were healthy and clean and tasted great. But for my business partner and I, who's my brother, it didn't serve us. And especially in the vision that we have of what we want our lives to be in the next 5 years, it wasn't serving us. So we got rid of it early before it became a burden on us. So you need to understand the vision is actually very important. It's not just this shiny, bright thing that you put or that you think about that makes you feel good for 5 minutes and then you come back to reality and you think that your life's crap, for example. It's not that. It's actually the starting point, and in a lot of ways, the navigation point of what you actually allow yourself to live in terms of a life, or in terms of goals, what you actually allow yourself to achieve. More specifically, when I look at the scripture, which is what I always kind of lean on. I always lean on God as much as I can, especially when I'm nervous or anxious or unsure. In the book of Proverbs, which is my favorite book in the Bible when it comes to being able to relate it back to business, okay, scripture puts it very plainly. Where there is no vision, people lose direction and fall into disorder. A leader without a clear picture of the future cannot lead anyone toward it. Okay, so in the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18, it speaks about that. Okay, now if you look at the other part of the screen where it says in business, same law, different setting. Okay, a business without a clear vision runs on reaction instead of direction, and every decision becomes a guess. There's a saying that we say in business all the time: if things aren't measured, they're not. How can they be managed? Or whatever gets measured gets managed. All right, this is why Anna, for example, does the metrics for me at the end of the week. So I can see how the week went. I can measure the progress. Where did we fall short? Where did we do well? Then it allows me to make clear decisions that I know are going to have a positive impact on the business in the next 7 days, or hopefully in the next 24 hours. Are you guys with me? Yeah? Whenever we don't have vision and clarity, we're just guessing. It's like throwing something at that wall and hopefully it sticks. 9 times out of 10, the things don't stick. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Now, when we look at vision and provision, okay, so one of the guys that I learned from, his name is Myron Golden. He teaches this, and I learned it from him, and I thought I'd bring it today to everybody's attention. It's fantastic, right? Vision precedes provision. God does not fund what has not been seen. Provision follows a clear picture, never the other way around. Okay, now what I mean by fund, it's not so much from a monetary perspective, right? God can be able to fund you in so many different areas of your life without you even really understanding how it came about. And I'll give you guys a really good example. Me. I'm a firm believer, if there's an idea in my head, that God put the idea in my head because he knows I have the tools to be able to make that idea a reality if I work hard enough at it. So for me, the idea of having my own gym was in my head from when I was about 14 years old. Going to the gym at 16, and then it started growing more. And I got an opportunity to do it when I was 22, and I didn't look back. But the way in which he funded that was he put the right people in my life at the right time, and he very quickly took the wrong people out of my life at the right time as well. And I believe that that's how God funded me to be able to move in the direction I wanted to move in because I had the vision, and now I was able to move in a clear manner with clarity and just the determination. But the way in which he funded it, he put the right people in my life at the right time, and the right opportunities were there at the right time for me. Are you guys with me? That's how I believe God will fund certain things for you. Now, when we look at your ability to see it first, see it first. See it. You can't build something if you don't know what the hell you're building. Yeah, see it first. Let your imagination just flourish. See it. Have it so clear in your mind that it just excites you, and it's just all you focus on. Yeah, we're moving gyms. The thought pattern, the vision is so clear about how I want this place to look that when I'm talking to you about it, I can see it as I'm talking to you about it. All right, same thing with you, same thing with you. The vision needs to be there first. From there, you go to point number 2. You plan it. Yeah, and as we all know, a vision without a plan is just a wish. So this is the part where the rubber hits the road. You got the vision, now you got the plan, the rubber hits the road, and then you get it funded. Okay, and it gets funded from resources, from clients, from capital move towards, resources, clients, and capital, they all move towards a clear direction. Confusion repels support. Clarity attracts it. So that kind of stuff there, like I said before, God removed the wrong people out of my life and gave me the right people in my life. 1. God gave me the right kind of resources at the right time to be able to get to that point in my life that I really want to get to. 2 things in particular. A business coach who came into my life out of nowhere. I wasn't searching for one. Okay, number 1. Number 2, the place that I first moved into. I wasn't actively looking. The idea was there and I was always thinking about it, but I didn't have anywhere to go. And then it fell straight into my lap. And then I made it happen. That's how I truly believe that when you're clear, when you know what you want, and when you got that direction, the right things come at the right time. You just need to be ready to work for them though. Yeah? God doesn't reward the lazy. You work hard, you deserve what you get. But you also got to understand that it's not going to happen within 24 hours or a week or a couple of months. How you look today, where you're at today, what you earn today, the success you have today is because of the last 6 months of work you've been doing. Yeah? My health story, it's all over my social media. I talk to people about it all the time. It took me 12 months to look and feel as good as I'm looking and feeling today. 12 months. Most people won't even stick to something for 12 weeks or 12 days. I stuck with it for 12 months because I knew that in 12 months' time I was going to be happy with the guy that I see in the mirror. I took a photo of myself last night. I was very happy. If you want to see it, check my Instagram story. I was quite happy. Yeah, because all the hard work I've been doing, there it is. It's my sign that keep going. You're clear on what you want. Keep going. Any questions so far? Awesome. Now, one of the things that I always tell people, and again, I learned this off Myron Golden, which I found so amazing, is that you get paid for the value that you bring. You don't get paid for what you think you deserve. Yeah? You know what's funny? Like in my early days when I first hired somebody, not you, Alex, the one after you, they thought they were putting in, 20 hours a week, 20 to 25 hours a week. They were doing their bit to help my business work. They thought they needed to get paid more. And I looked at him and I said to him, I said, just because you're doing what I'm paying you to do doesn't mean you deserve to get paid more. Because you're doing exactly what you need to do and nothing more. Right? I'm the one that grew this whole thing. So there's no way that you should feel, there's no way that I can justify paying you more when you're simply doing what you need to do and nothing more. And the reason why I'm saying that, team, is because the value he brought was literally what I was paying him to do. If you want to earn more money, bring more value. Right? For me, I have big goals. Anna, you know how big my goals are. I'm talking to you about it all the time. Right? I spent 2 hours on a whiteboard yesterday brain farting. Right? And the reason why I did that was because I have a big goal. $2 million in the next 12 months. For me, that's big. From that 2, we're going to take it to 10. But how do I do that? Not by having all these crazy things that I'm going to do in terms of extra new features and whatnot. It's by simply thinking about the value that I'm going to give somebody. And taking it from thinking small. So for example, small offer, which means a small price, small impact. Taking it from there to the total clear vision of a transformation. Because human nature and human psychology, people pay for the future that you can see clearly enough to lead them into. In other words, people pay you to take them from their pain into their, say it, pleasure. Yeah? If I can be able to clearly demonstrate to somebody or to an organization, right, this is where you're at right now, this is where I want to take you, what I'm going to teach you, and I give them fantastic value. Who's to say I can't charge $5,000 for 2 hours of my time? Who's to say I can't charge $100,000 for a year's worth of business coaching? Who's to say I can't charge that? Have 10 clients, $100,000 each for the year. Who's to say I can't charge that? Do you understand? Solve big problems, charge big money. Give big value, charge big money. But going back to this, the second point, plan it. Can't just be an idea that you have and it sounds cool in your head, so you're going to just start doing it. It doesn't work that way. You need to plan it. Yeah? There's a lot of planning that I'm doing. But the fear of doing this and pushing forward with it is gone now. I had a discussion with somebody on, what day was it, on a Monday? At a Zoom call with that prospect? Yeah. Monday. And it was for a paid gig. I usually do these health talks for free because I was too scared to charge. I didn't charge much as I wanted to charge because I promised this particular prospect a bit of a discount. But the fact that I charged and they didn't bat an eye, they didn't blink, they didn't say no, they said yes, in, all good, showed me that as long as you give value, you can put a price on whatever you want. You just need to make sure that you're clear on your vision, you got this transformative language and it can give value. And now it's just inspired me and lit a fire in me that it's never going to stop now because I know that the more value I can give, the more I can be able to make. So what am I going to focus on? Just giving more value all the time. So imagine I keep upskilling myself like I do over the next 12 months. How much more value I can give. Think about the little things you guys can do to upskill yourselves and then give more value. Yeah? Which means you can do what? Be able to earn more money because you give more value. This is where the world falls short, right? You get these people that come out of uni, they've done a degree, they think they're owed 120 grand, 150 grand, 200 grand salary because they've done a university degree. But where's the value? You have not given any value yet. If you're going to come in and just do your job, but because you've spent 8 years at university, you think you're owed 200 grand, 250 grand, the world doesn't work that way. Sorry, honey, it doesn't work like that. Sorry, buddy, the world doesn't work like that. The value you give will determine how much you make. So when you see it from that perspective, okay, going to university is not the be-all and end-all. I haven't gone to university. I never will go to university. And I don't need to go to university. And what burns people that have gone to university, that do what I do, is I'm charging 4 times the amount that they are, and I'm better at what they do, and I haven't gone to university. Right? And the reason is because the value I bring is, to me, it's not about the paper that I'm showing them. It's about the transformative nature that I have on somebody's life. That's my value. Right? That can be your value if you want it to be.
Question.
Yeah.
Did you ever sometimes feel a little bit greedy asking for a pay rise even though you did give more value? Like if you were working for someone?
Yeah.
Did you ever get that thought and then where do you back that up with the biblical reference of doing that? Are you
I love it. Fantastic question. And I'll give you two parts to that answer. Number one, the best way to make sure that you can actually showcase that you're giving value is to actually have some kind of documentation of that. Hey, I've done everything you've ever asked of me and more. Pay rise. I deserve a pay rise. It's been 12 months. One. Number two, the other thing when it comes to that greed, where did greed come from? The devil. Greed came from Satan. Didn't come from Jesus. Was Abraham greedy? Was he wealthy? In land and gold? Why? Because he did God's work. So asking for more money because you feel like the value you bring is worth more than the money. Let me rephrase that. Having a talk with your boss saying, look, can I please get I think I'm deserving of a pay rise. This is what I've done. You've shown the value tenfold. It's not a hard question, but it's not a bad thing to ask, right? It's not a bad thing to ask at all because you've got two things, like I said before. One, when it comes to a biblical reference, you don't need to justify it and think that it's greed for asking for what you feel like you're worth, number one. Number two, if you can honestly say that you've done the work and some, why not? Why not?
Get caught up in the fact that you're trying to be of service to people at the same time?
You can still be of service. I believe you have better service when you're a better version of you, right? So if you're able to earn more money you've used that money to build a better version of you by getting smarter, by using it to build more resources, by using it to be able to have a better facility that can cater to your clients better, or have an upskilling ability with yourself and your team that serves your community better. It never goes without, right? There's never a bad thing associated with making more money. The devil puts it in your mind, right? Because when you are associating making more money with somebody who's a bad person, right? There are bad people that make money and God will deal with them. It's not our problem to judge them or to focus on that. But if we let that take away from the beauty of working hard, giving value, transforming a business or a life, being able to earn more money, if we let these negative people take away our mindset from that or take our mind off that and lose our sight of our vision, what do? Stay stagnant. And I don't believe stagnant is still. I believe stagnant is you're worse. Yeah? Human biology, as we get older, our body degenerates. And one thing in particular that degenerates if we don't work it and don't build it is our brain. So we can easily sit there and watch YouTube all day and watch podcasts that give us no value, or we can learn something new every day, multiple times a day. What do you think I'm doing every day? Learning, exercising, learning, building my body, building my brain, adding to my vision, adding to the value that I give people. Yeah? Transforming lives, charging more, using that money to keep upskilling, building a better version of me, building a better facility for my community, serving my people better. Repeat. But that's it. It's very simple. And for me, as an example for me, to justify charging more, right? Because I charge a lot for what I do, I value my time more than money. So if you're going to pay me what I want, I'd rather keep my time. Spend it with my family, spend it with my son, upskill myself, hang out with you guys. Do you know what I mean? Train, jump in a sauna a bit longer than usual. I value my time way more than the money than money, right? People who are broke value their money way more than their time. You need to understand that, right? People who aren't where they want to be financially value their money way more than their time. People who have a lot of money value their time way more than their money. So either you pay me what I'm worth or I'm going to keep my time. Yeah? But if you get my time, you get all of me. 1,000% of me, and I'm going to leave with an empty cup because I'm going to give you everything that's in me. Right? That's the trade-off though, if you get my time. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? Cool. Now, one of the things that I like is simply just writing the vision and then make it plain. Very plain. Right? So if I asked you right now, what's your vision for the next 12 months of your life? You'll probably have to think about it, and then you ramble like 10 different things. And then you look at those 10 different things and you think to yourself, how am I going to do all those 10 things in the next 12 months? Am I right or am I wrong?
If you asked me 6 months ago, yes.
Yeah? Good, because you've probably done the work to get clear on the vision, right? Beautiful. Some people are though, when I've asked them this, what's your vision? Write it down. They're like, what do you mean? Write down the vision. What do you want for the next 12 months of your life? Where do we know what we're working on? And they're going, and they're going, and they're going. And I pull up mine, it's like 3 lines. They're like, is that all? It's enough for me. Gives me the clarity I want. The plan though is where the detail starts. If the vision is plain and very clear, the anxiety drops down. Because then you go, okay, these things that require work, let's go build the plan now, where the work starts and the rubber hits the road again. So when we look at the book of Habakkuk, okay, the instruction is specific. Get the vision out of your head and onto something that you can see. Clearly enough that someone else could run with it. It may feel slow to arrive, but it will not be late. That's very powerful, that last part, eh? It may feel slow to arrive, but it will never be late. This is why I love God's timing. You know, saying God's timing is the right timing. It's never too late. It's just on time. On time, perfect in every way. Yeah? And the more you experience that, the more God reminds you that He's got your back. Yeah? I've wanted a certain goal for such a freaking long time. Or a certain thing for so long. And God is like, I was like, I'll pray for it and pray for it. Something will come up. And now it felt like it was promising, then it turned around that it wasn't. And then it happened again, didn't work out. Happened again, didn't work out. Happened again, didn't work out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times to the point where I let go. I left it. And I said, God, take it. I don't want to deal with this anymore, just take it. If something comes up and you think it's for me, let's just go for it. Give it to me, tell me, show me. I'm here. I'm ready. And then before you know it, I found an 136 meter square warehouse. It's a better layout than this one for cheaper price. And we can get it over the line. And they just accepted my proposal for the rent that I put there. Right? So you understand what I'm trying to say when I tell you that God's timing is the right timing? I didn't go looking for it this time. I didn't try and make it happen. I understood that I need to focus on me and getting myself ready so that when God put it in my life at the right time, I was able to action it. That's all. So remember, we've got to work in partnership with God. Yeah? We work together with Him. We were made to build with Him. On my Faith Driven Founder Instagram page, there's a post I put specifically about that. We're made to build with Him, in a relationship with Him. So that relationship is in every aspect of our life, right? Like I'm talking intimately. Yeah? If I'm going to have a good relationship with my brother, if I was going to limit, and I'm digressing, but I'll bring it back. If I was to limit contact, all forms of contact with my brother, 1 day a week for 1 hour, how do you think our relationship would be? Would it be a great, close, intimate one? Or would it be a very surface level, maybe not even a relationship? What do you think? It's not a trick question. There'll be a very surface level, probably just a hi, bye, shake hand, how's things, yeah, you're good, shallow relationship. How do you think we're going to have a good relationship with God if we go to church once a week for an hour? If that. How do you expect to have an intimate relationship with God, to know exactly what He wants with you, what your vision is, what His vision is for you, how you want to live your life, how you should live your life, all the things that you're stressing and worried and anxious about? How are you going to be able to actually understand what God wants for you if you go and see Him for 1 hour a week? And even then, you just focus on your own things. God help me, God help me, God help me, God help me, God help me. Can I have, can I have, can I have, can I have? Please, 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 please. You haven't even zipped your mouth to listen to Him. How do we move forward in life or in business if we can't even stop and be quiet and have an intimate relationship with the one that has given us everything? And you want to tell me you want to build business, or you want to build money, you want to achieve these big things, you can't even sit down for half an hour in complete silence and just open up your heart to God? If you can't discipline yourselves enough to do that, start with that first before you think about building big business or wanting to ask for money or earnings or trying to build a vision for yourself. Because it's in the discipline of being quiet that God whispers. And when God whispers, that's where the beauty in your life will flourish faster than you can handle, which will overwhelm you and make you very aware of God's got this love for you that I can't even put into words. But until you stop, build an intimate relationship with Him, understand that God's in your corner and always will be in your corner, the vision, the traction, the rubber hitting the road, the planning, this, that, it'll come, but you won't be aware of it. And you'll be too scared to take it because you don't fully understand what God's given you. You are exactly where you need to be. Exactly where you need to be. God's given you everything you've ever needed for every struggle in your life. Because you've gone through every hardship in your life. But until you stop and listen to Him from here and stop from here, you will never be able to truly comprehend the greatness that He wants for you. Yeah? Because in my team, I've got great people in my team. And when I have great people in my team who do great things and are all about wanting to give back to the community, this is why I feel so blessed to be working with you guys every day of the week. So when we understand that God's put us together for a reason, for you to teach me and for me to hopefully teach you, until you understand that this is what God wants for us, you need to remember that it may feel slow, but it will come, even if it's late. Okay, and when it comes to what it looks like in practice, very simple. Write down your vision. Don't just leave it in here. Talk about it. You know how I talk about my stuff all the time? To you. I'm on repeat at least 3-4 times a week about the same stuff. But do you want to know why? Because when it's out of my head, I can talk about it and think about it more. One of my aunties gave me the best piece of advice 6 months ago when my anxiety was through the roof because of everything going on with this warehouse. She said to me, Anthony, keep talking about it. Get it out. Keep talking about it. Because when you talk about it, you can put the pieces of the puzzle together better and be able to make sense of it more. So I'll just keep talking about it. And it makes me feel better because I'm putting it out there, not to the universe, I don't believe in that. Putting it out there, but I'm saying it to people. I'm listening to what I'm saying. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I'm aware of what it sounds like now. Maybe that's not the way to go about it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? These are the things that we need to understand, that when you put it out there, write it down, look at it every day. These are the things that give you the direction, the clarity, because you've got the vision set and nice and clear for you. Make sense? Now be specific enough to act on it this week. Make it just so simple. So simple. So for me, when it comes to building Zenzino, for example, 5 new customers. That's it. 5 new customers in front of me. It's right there. 5 new customers. Okay, cool. Let's go. What does that have to look like for me? It just means I need to just have more conversations, more outreach. Yeah? We've got all the things that I want there for me and the team to do. Right? But when it comes to that kind of stuff, it becomes quite simple because it's all there. Okay, just one thing at a time. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, allocate tasks to certain people, but what do I have to do? It's there. It's clear. Go and plan. Rubber hits the road, we start making progress in those areas. Okay? The next point here, revisit it often so it shapes your daily decisions. This is why I have whiteboards everywhere and stuff stuck on the walls everywhere. Because I'm looking at these things every day, multiple times a day. Because it keeps me focused on the vision. It keeps me aware of my daily decisions. If I think about it once and never think about it again, my decisions are going to get affected by what? Everything else that happens in my day, which can take me away from achieving that goal or making that vision my reality. So I keep it in front of me because it keeps me focused on my daily decisions and my daily actions. Okay, because when that happens, it means that I'm clear again. And when I'm clear, everything I want to do and everything I want to achieve just moves in the direction I want it to move in. And the last one, share it so your team can run with it too. Why do you think I tell you guys stuff? Why do you think I openly share stuff with you all? I don't do it to show off, team. I share stuff with you, like intimate, deep stuff sometimes, because I want you guys to run with it with me. Yeah? I don't just have a team to brag about having a team. You guys are like my family. You literally are my family and my blood. You guys are like my family. I will never let you guys go. I'll do everything I can to keep you guys working with me for as long as we can, because I value the hell out of you guys so much. But I've seen the growth and I appreciate what you guys bring to my community as well. Yeah, and I share these visions with you guys because you guys are a part of it all. Yeah, every single thing that I want to work on, that I want PTA to build or Zenzino to build or my health talks to do, you guys are a huge, intricate and integral part of it all as my leadership team. So that's why I share it, because I want you to get as excited as I am talking about it, because you're a part of it. And as everything grows, we grow together. Yeah, there's a saying, you want to go far, you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. Yeah, I don't want to go fast and then stop. I want to go far and I want to keep going far. And my far is not distance-wise, my far is that way. Yeah, especially from a wealth and revenue perspective. We are, by far, Kingsgrove's most supportive fitness community. Okay? This is not just a slogan. It's the vision of every program, every coach, every client interaction. It's built to be proven true. Yes or no? Yeah? You know who wrote that? I didn't ask her to write it. She wrote it. And when she wrote it, it spoke to me. Right? It spoke to me because I've always felt that. But when somebody else who's not necessarily me, and the visionary, so to speak, says that, how do you think it's going to make me feel? It's like, oh, somebody else sees it. Great. Let's go with it. Let's run with it. Let's make that a thing that we communicate actively now. Right? So when it comes to health, education, and community, there are pillars. They're the pillars of PTA. Every decision we make is based around those three things. Every single piece of social media content we put out is based around those three things. It's quite simple. The vision is clear and simple. Yeah? It talks to the right people about the things that we find valuable, and then we're able to document and communicate the amazing transformations that we have from a body composition perspective, but from a health perspective as well. And this is why it's so important, because we have sustainable results and not restriction or burnout. We have clients who understand why they do what they do, not just come in, jump around like a monkey and go home and don't know if it was the right thing for them to do, right? And then we also have people that stay because they feel supported. Why do you think people have been with me and part of this community since we started in 2014? Or some of them even before then when I started in 2010. Why do you think? It's not because of the education. I wasn't that smart in 2010, I'll tell you that much. It was because of the community, the support, the way in which you make people feel like they were valued and not just a number. Right? I train at a different gym, as you know. And you know the thing that annoys me the most? The guy who runs the gym, the manager of that gym, if he's around on the gym floor, you'd be lucky if he smiles at his customers or client and members and greets them. You'd be lucky. I watch him and I'm shaking my head every time because he literally just ignores everybody. People look at him like, oh, that's the manager, and they smile at him, and he just maybe half a smile, then keeps walking. I don't know, maybe he's got something going on with his life, I don't know. But I get disappointed because you've got an opportunity, man, to make people feel like they're valued and a part of your community. They're essentially putting food on the table for you. Right? There's a problem with a lot of business owners that make money, right? They feel like they become like superior. And it really upsets me because you're only as valuable as your team, right? So as the manager, for example, or the business owner, if you're not seen to lead by example, you do not have a right to come down on your team if they're not doing what you want them to do from a community standpoint, because you're not leading by example. So for me, watching him do that, I just get a little bit disappointed because I think to myself, these members are looking at you smiling and you're just walking with your head down like you can't be bothered for them. And I look at him like, well, you didn't see me on the gym floor, especially when I used to train in my own gym floor. I'd lose half my training session because I greet everybody, right? Because it was important to me. And I was saying this earlier today to Anna and to Alex. When I first started working as a young kid, 16 years old, in retail, the guy that owned my store, the owner came in, and he had a really good way of coming in every month. And one of the Saturdays I was working, he came in, and it was my second Saturday working. Came in, and he greeted me, I greeted him, and he was giving me some tips. And he's like, look, how do you how do you work with the customers? How do you greet the customers? And I gave him like a general overview. He goes, cool. Because this is what I want you to think about every time you greet a customer now. He goes, greet them like they're coming to your house. Greet them like they're coming over to your house. How would you greet them if they came over to your house? And I said, I'd welcome them, I'd be warm, I'd offer them this, I'd offer them that. He said, exactly. This is how I want you to be with every single customer that walks in, even though they're only buying clothes or looking to buy clothes. And something about what he said stayed with me from when I was 16, I'm 34, almost 20 years, stayed with me. So now when you see clients walk in the gym door and I'm overly excited to see them, now can you understand why I greet them the way that I do? Because they're coming into my house. I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to know that they're welcome. I want them to know that they're supported and they can be relaxed, they can be themselves, and they can enjoy their time here. Just like how I want each of you guys to feel when you come to my house. Make sense? This is how I see it. And I'm so grateful to the three of you that you do that. When clients walk in, you greet them like they're coming into your own house. It says a lot about your value of this business to yourselves personally, and it means the world to me. Now, a vision is not the same as a goal. You need to understand a vision is something that you can just say. A goal is something that it's measurable, it's time-bound, changes, circumstances change, and tell you what to do this quarter, for example, or this week or this month. Whereas a vision, it's long-term and it's fixed. Okay, it stays constant through setbacks, and it tells you why any of it why any of it matters. Yeah, does that make sense? So the vision is set. The goals will change. Break my leg, okay, I can't do certain things, the goals have to change, but the vision still stays the same. What's always been the vision of PTA? Come on, I talk about it all the time. What's always been the vision of PTA? What have I always wanted to build PTA into?
A wellness hub.
Yeah, a one-stop shop for everything health and wellness, yeah? The goals have changed because of the circumstances that I was faced with, but has the vision changed?
No, same thing with the same vision.
This is why I've been very specific as to the next place that we go to. And I haven't just gone for the fastest, cheapest one. Those faster, cheaper ones, yeah, they may have been less economically, maybe a little bit better for me economically because I'm able to make more profit, but do they fit the vision? It's not my part of my vision. And I won't compromise on my vision because my vision is what excites me to get up to go to work. I don't want to have a place or a job. Let's call it that. I don't want to go to somewhere where I feel like I'm doing a job. I haven't felt like that since I started my business. Yes, I'm tired. Yes, I work long hours. But I'll do it every day of the week if it's mine. Without a frown on my face. I told Anna yesterday, I got an 18-hour day today. Yeah? And I got to back it up again tomorrow with another 12-hour day. But all I do is a sign of the cross. Thank God for the ability to do it and build towards my vision. Yeah? It is what it is. But the fact that the vision is there and it's fixed there and I can see it and it's a long-term thing, it's going to serve me for the next 30, 40, 50, 60, God willing, 70 years of my life. I'm going to be that 90-year-old dude that's jacked in the gym. And my son's going to be looking at me, shaking his head, going, Dad, can you go home? You've been here for 3 hours. Right? I want to be that guy because that to me is part of my vision. Yeah, and see in my face, it excites me. It really, genuinely excites me. Not the part about my son telling me to go home, but the part about being a 90-year-old jack dude. Right? But the point is, the vision is so much more important than the goals. The goals are important, but don't get them twisted. They're not the same. They're quite different. And I'm so glad that I listened to Myron Golden because he teaches this stuff so well. And that's why I'm really motivated to teach you guys this stuff. The goals are checkpoints. The vision is the destination that gives the checkpoints some kind of meaning. So for example, one of the goals every month is to sign up how many clients? 5 every month. Why is that so important? Right, because it's part of the long-term vision. It gives us 5 sign-ups meaning. Because we've got 5 sign-ups a month, right? That's an extra $500 minimum a month that the gym's earning, right? If we compound that by 12 months, on top of what we already have, see how it helps us reach the vision of what I want the gym to be able to earn as a revenue? This is why. This is why the goals are set a certain way, and they do change, right? You might have less, might have more, it just depends. But the vision stays the same and the goals work towards that vision. You guys with me still? Cool. Now I love this one because my vision is not actually about me. My vision is about my descendants. You know when somebody says, what would you do when you retire and you've built your fortune, you've got millions of dollars, what would you do? Would you give it to your kids? Or would you sell everything? I've had people say, no, I'm not going to give it to my kids. I'm going to make them earn their own, earn it themselves. If I just give it to them, they won't hear the value of it all. Imagine if Abraham thought like that. Imagine if Abraham thought like that. Imagine if God thought like that. No, I'm not going to give you guys anything. I'm not going to give you no head start. I'm just going to make sure that you guys can understand how to find me, and if it's up to you. How crap would sorry for the language, but how bad would our lives be if God or even Abraham didn't think like that? Or if Jesus Christ didn't come down and do what he did for us and sacrifice himself to be able to redeem us? Imagine if none of that none of that actually happened. Right? Just imagine what our lives would be like. We'd be living in turmoil, more turmoil than we have right now, with no idea of who God is and what He is and how amazing He is in our lives. So that concept of, no, I'm going to make them earn it, you can still give your kids or your descendants a head start, but keep them humble and have humility. And give them a good work ethic. You can still do that. I truly believe that. It's in the effort that you put in. So for me, the vision for me is not about what it does for me. It's about what it's going to do for everybody else that comes after me. Yeah? Because my dad had a vision of giving Alex and I a better life than he got from his parents. And now he's impacted Alex and I to do the same thing for our descendants, but to another level. Because he gave me the head start. If my dad didn't give me the head start, I'd be worse than him. Probably be dead or in jail. But he gave me the head start that he didn't have. Yeah? This is why it's so important to understand. If you set a vision, you make it a big one, because it doesn't just have to be about you. It can be about what comes after you, which is beautiful. It motivates you even more. Right? There's nothing better than building something that you can enjoy, but knowing it's going to last even after you. Yeah? I've always said PTA is going to last even after I'm dead. And it will. And whatever one of my kids wants to continue it on, can. But it will last after I'm dead. It is for my family. It is for my descendants. It's not something I'm going to build, get profitable, sell, and on to the next. And it's going to be the thing I'm going to hold and bring my family into. And it's going to be that thing that is part of the Casas legacy. That's my vision. That's why I'm so adamant to find something that's great in terms of a building, and then eventually earn enough to buy it, and then make it our home for the rest of our lives. Make sense? So, in the book of Proverbs, a good person leaves an inheritance to their children's children. Vision built only for personal comfort runs out of fuel. Vision built for legacy keeps going after you hand it over. You know what Alex and I got handed over? Absolutely nothing. To no discredit to any of our forefathers, but we got handed over debt. But I said to him once, because we both had to shoot about something, and I said to him, okay, we got given debt, we got given problems, we got given headaches. I said, but when you're given lemons, what do? You make lemonade. You don't buy the sour lemon, unless you're from my wife's family, you love lemons. But what you usually do is you make lemonade, right? That's a positive way to think about it. And so when you think of it from that perspective, we got given lemons, and we got given some rotten lemons, right? Well, we've made it lemonade. Why? Because of the book of Proverbs. I'm telling you, team, read the book of Proverbs. It will change, the whole Bible will change your life, don't get me wrong. But the book of Proverbs just gives you stuff that hits you like here, that makes you want to just get up and just flip a table and go and do something. It fires me up. I don't know about you guys. If you read the book of Proverbs, it's amazing to read. But the vision, we have something that is going to last even after we're gone. If I can do that, why not? Look at the impact that 2,000 years ago a certain human being did. A divine human being. 2,000 plus years. Look at the impact. He didn't think of himself. He didn't do it for him. He actually didn't want to do it. If you really want to get technical, he didn't want to do it. What did he ask God? In the Garden of Eden, in the Garden of Gethsemane, what did he ask God? If this is not for, if you can't take this from me, I'm paraphrasing, but if you can't take this from me, but if it's your will, I will do it. He was sweating blood and tears. He was sweating blood, scared, knowing what's coming, didn't really want to do it, but if God wanted him to do it, he'll go and get it done. Right? But he knew it wasn't for him. He knew it was for us. And look at the legacy he's left behind. Look at the impact he's had. Imagine, just imagine, all this stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable, you know you need to do, but you don't want to do it. Imagine you have somebody in the next 20 years of your life look at you and say, because of you, I did this. Because of what you did for me, I could get there. Just sit in that for a second. It stirs me. If the day comes, my son goes, Dad, it was because of you, give me a box of tissues, I'm going to sit in the room for an hour. Right? But that's the case, right? If that is what you can do for somebody, right? What we do for the people downstairs in the gym. How many of you have ever heard someone say, I felt like crap coming in today, but you made me feel so much better? You've heard it, you've heard it, you've heard it. Why? Because you didn't think about yourselves. You thought about helping them. Yeah, that's a very small example, but it's a very easy one to use. On a bigger scale, if you're wanting to build something for yourself, get yourself out of your comfort zone, or you, and you're not too sure why you're doing or who you're doing it for. Obviously, with your vision is to outlast you, because that's what's going to actually motivate you and inspire you. Yeah, I always want to look after my family, in particular my parents, because I was sick and tired of seeing them come home just angry. So when I started working, first thing I said, I'm working 7 days because I want to save money in case my family needs it. Ask my brother. I used to argue with my dad. You don't need to work 7 days. I said, I know, but I want to. Because I want to make sure that if you guys need something, I'm here. They would laugh at me. What are we going to need from you? What are we going to need from you? Alex will tell you the rest of the story about what they need from me. All right? But the point of what I'm trying to get at is the vision was bigger than me. And it's always been bigger than me. Because of my love for my family, it's allowed me to understand that my life, although I'm enjoying every second of my life every day because I work with amazing people and I have a beautiful family, there's so much more to my life than just what I get. It's about what I give. You guys can have that impact. You guys do have that impact. And when it comes to that kind of vision that you have for yourself, it doesn't need to be from building a business point of view. It can be just whatever vision means something to you. And if it means something to you and it excites you, plan it. Talk about it. Go and get it. What's to stop you? If you need a bit more inspiration, you need a reminder, go back to my mindset video that we did on the first talk about I ever started with you guys. Go back to that and get the mindset right. Because if anything's stopping you, it's just your mindset. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's just your mindset. Go back to that video, listen to that video, and hit the ground running. And remember that God wants you to be prosperous. He doesn't want you to fail. He never wanted you to fail. The devil wants you to fail because because it means that you lose trust in God, which is all the devil wants. Go back to that video on mindset and listen to it because that is your reminder. And if you ever doubt yourself, watch that video again. Yeah? Now for me, when it comes to a vision that outlasts me, building systems. So building systems a team can run without me. Turning my brother and my staff into leaders. And creating a business that outlives one bad week. I used to live in I used to have a business where a bad week would send me into a spiral. You were there in the early days. Spiral. How are we going to make it work? How are we going to make it last? Oh my gosh. No. Go on and on and on. But now it's okay, it's a bad day or a bad week. It's not a bad life. Bad month. It's okay. What do we need to do better? What do we need to learn? This is why I've changed a lot about what's happening. Yeah, I got rid of the noise, the distractions and the chaos, so to speak, and we're focused, which gives us what? Clarity. Which gives us what? Direction. Which means what? We work better, more effectively, more efficiently, and there's a bigger turnaround time. Faster turnaround time for certain things that we're trying to work on. Every real business exists to solve something. The clearer the problem, the clearer the vision for solving it. Understand? Every vision is hiding inside a problem. It could be a problem for you. It could be a problem for your ideal customer. So my vision for opening up Platinum Training Academy when I was 22 years old was because of the fact that I didn't like how gyms were run. I saw a problem with how gyms were being run. And I knew that I could be able to provide a place that was better than what I saw for the customers and for the people that I wanted to look after and take care of and help transform their health. Fat loss is quite easy if you think about it, right? Fixing a problem in an industry that was always about counting heads and not really focusing on community, you know who solved that problem really well for us? The F45 franchise did. Because they were one of the first to really push way more than transformations, community, safe space, right? And I got to take my hat off to them. They did really well. They helped us move forward in that kind of vision. Every other gym now, especially these our boutique ones, we understand that that's quite important. An ecosystem, a community, culture, however you want to term it, a place where people come, feel safe, feel loved, feel appreciated, then achieve their goals. That's what the vision for us is all about, because it fixes a problem that most gyms have, right? When we see the problem, we feel the weight of it, we build a solution, and that becomes a vision. That's how you build a vision. So if you're not sure what your vision is, that's your 4-step process. And you just need to listen to that and trust yourself in whatever you think you're trying to solve. Because you do what you need to do with your social media, with your videos, with your content, whatever, however you want to term it. I'm not posting for the millions. I don't know if I've said this to you guys before. I'm posting for the one person that needs to hear that message. That's who I'm posting for. If it ends up affecting and impacting in a positive way 1,000 people, fantastic. 2,000 people, fantastic. 10,000 people, awesome. But if it's going to help the one, that's what I'm doing it for. So my vision, even if this helps one person today, great. It'll help another person tomorrow. Compound that over 365 days. Now put 365 people in a room with me listening to me talk, I'll be quite a nervous person. See what I'm trying to say? Do it for the one and stay consistent with it when it comes to your vision. How our vision shows up today. We simplify the model, we build real systems, and we protect. And I mean it when I say we protect our community. There's a reason why there's a certain person that trains here and there's a certain person that doesn't train here. There's a reason for that, right? And the reason of that and for that is because of the fact that I need to protect the community all the time. Because every client feels like they're seen and supported, because that is the difference between a typical gym, like Anytime Fitness or a Plus Fitness or a Fitness First, that just count heads like that manager that just walks in, doesn't care about anybody there, even though they're human beings, and our community. Well, I know everybody's first name. I know how many kids they have. I know if they're married or not. I know if they're related to me or not. I know who their brothers, sister, wives, husbands, kids, daughters, cousins are in the gym. And they know everything about me as well, up to a certain point. But the point is community, people, not just numbers, yeah? Now, vision always runs ahead of proof. Faith is described as being certain of what you cannot see yet, or yet see. This is exactly what building a vision requires. You commit to it before the evidence fully exists. Remember that time back in the day, back in maybe 2013, when I was telling our family about the vision I had for Platinum Training Academy? 3 people, there was about 20 people in the room, and we were just talking about it. 3 of them looked at me and said, I don't think you have the ability to be able to do it. And I looked at them and I said, it's okay, probably don't understand what I'm trying to do because I haven't built it yet. One of them in particular said it, and it really impacted me. And that one person came about a month or 2 later when I opened up the gym. They will help me out with a few things. They stood in the middle of my gym, gave me a hug and said, I would have never had the courage to do this. And I was just like, well, maybe you need to find a thing that is for you, but this is for me. And I said, if you think for a second that I'll focus on the negative feedback that you gave me, you don't know me well enough. You're mistaken. I have a vision and I know it's going to work, irrespective of if people can see it or not. That's what you guys need to understand about your own visions. It doesn't matter. It does not matter if other people in your life can see the vision. It's your vision. It's in here and it should be in here. And if you can see it, and if it makes sense to you, and you're willing to work for it, and you're going to plan it, and you're going to build it, does it really matter if anybody else believes in it when it's not even existing yet? Does it really matter? It doesn't matter. Their opinions do not matter. His opinion matters. And he's seen the vision before you have, because he was the one that planted the idea in your head in the first place. So when you think of it from that perspective, do you need people's approvals? No. You've got his. That's all you need. Make sense? So when we think about the fact that this is not blind optimism, faith-driven vision is paired with work. You believe the direction is right when you build the systems. Show up daily and let consistency prove it out over time. That's exactly how PTI was built. That's exactly how I'm building my other businesses. My vision of running workshops and charging people a lot of money for these workshops sounds absolutely absurd to so many people, but yeah, I made it happen. I did it. And when I told my wife about it, she's like, "Oh my gosh, wow! I didn't think that was going to happen. But I'm so proud of you, right? Because to other people who don't see it and don't believe it, and aren't willing to work for it, it sounds absurd to charge $1,000 for an hour of my time. Small thinking people think like that. The people I associate with charge $50,000 for an hour of their time, $100,000 for 2 hours of their time, right? $100,000 plus for a business mentorship. It works, and they make a lot of money from it, right? But what I'm trying to get at, team, is that it's not about just having this great vision and going, God's in my corner, but you're not doing anything. They all need to work together. God's in your corner, He planted the vision in your head, but you need to work for it. These have to work for it. Yeah? This is what 20 years of hard work looks like, team. It didn't happen overnight. And the next level of myself is going to take me another 10 years. But I'm here to do the work because it's not about me. Who's it about? My descendants. So when you think about it from that perspective, 10 more years of work to do? Well, if it's going to serve the next 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200 years of my family, I'll do 10 years. It's okay. Does that make sense? I'm going to end it with this, okay? Clarity creates confidence, and confidence converts. Why do you think I eliminated all the chaos in my life? Because I needed to get clarity. And I need to make sure that I could reignite my confidence in myself to be able to build something the way that it needs to be built so it can last, and it can serve, and it can help, and it can continue to build and continue to help me give you guys the lives that you want, as well as live my life the way that I want it, and look after my family. You guys with me? This is why it's so important to have clarity. Don't get distracted by the shiny things. Have clarity, keep it simple, and work hard. Because when you have a clear vision, you're having a clear message, you're confident in what you're doing, you build trust with the people that you're trying to help, which are your clients, and then you have consistent sales, or you have consistent results, yeah, or you have positive feedback, however you want to look at it. Now, the last thing I will say is people do not buy from someone who sounds unsure of where they're going. The worst months I've ever had was when I was unclear as to what was happening here. The best months I've ever had is when we were set firm in our ways and we knew what we were doing, we knew why we were doing it, we knew where we were going, and what did we do? We just worked. I want to thank you all for your time. I hope you found that useful. Thank you everybody on YouTube for watching. I hope you found it useful. Peace.